eventually going to break all of our hearts. Let's be completely real.
Yeah, it's gonna be sad.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Are we still split into 2 movies? I feel like we are.
I heard that Zach and I were talking about it. For those of you who don't know, I am on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. After Show on AfterBuzz TV
And you
every
should watch
Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Zach and I were talking a couple weeks ago. He's my co-host. And it sounds like, because I was under the impression that it is part 1 and part 2. Yeah. That doesn't sound necessarily like it's the case anymore, because there are other movies in between. It sounds like they labeled it that way so that they don't spoil what comes next. And Zach theorizes that the next Avengers movie is Avengers New Avengers. That it's not Infinity War Part 2, that it's New Avengers. No idea if that's true. That's just what we talked about in terms of the speculation section on one of our after shows. But that's sort of what I buy as well.
That's a thought.
Yeah. Once he said that, I was like, yeah, I buy that. I buy that 100%.
Yeah. So, for those of you who haven't figured it out by now, by, looking at the title and all that fun shit, we are looking at the second Infinity Wars trailer. This dropped a few days ago, and I'm a little late on the ball.
I've already seen it. I apologize. As I just was talking about,
fine.
I had to watch it for the after show because we talked about it in News and Gossip. So sorry, guys, I've already seen it, but I'm really excited to watch it again.
This is another one of those times where it's like scheduling, and scheduling went, fuck you, so we're doing it now. Nah, it's fine. It'll be good. It'll be good. We're all gonna cry. It'll be great. Let's have some fun. Click. The world turned
The entire time I knew
upside down.
he only ever had one goal. To wipe out half the universe.
Just half.
If he gets all the Infinity Stones, he can do it with the snap of his fingers. Just like that.
Tell me his name again.
Thanos.
It's about damn time. Aww.
We got one advantage. He's coming to us.
Oh, that's a thing.
We had with Thanos once, so that's what we use.
Aww. Yay!
Let's talk about this plan of yours. I think it's good, except it sucks. So let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
Wow.
And just the look on Drax's face, like, really?
The end is near. When I'm done, half of humanity will still exist.
Ugh.
Perfectly balanced. As all things should be.
Whoa.
I hope they remember you.
So we're all agreed that he gonna die, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, that music though! Oh.
Yeah, and see, they're not even...
I'm Peter, by the way.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, you're using your made-up names. Then I am Spider-Man.
Just that moment of, I hate my life.
Oh, Peter.
Yeah.
Peter and Teen Groot and Shuri are the teenagers that will save the world.
That bit of Shuri looking at the thing like, she's gonna solve the problem. Like, just...
She's got it. Leave it to her to just outsmart Thanos.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
I need it. I need all the teenage geniuses to just kind of team up and do wonderful things. Like, I need it in my life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I want her and Peter to have the best science friendship.
I'm excited for this, but there's no way Cap's not gonna die.
Well,
let's be real.
We're
gonna
talking-
send him to Tahiti, and
that. Don't even joke about that. That's
I
so
know.
terrible.
I know.
Um,
and it also, I don't think it's a thing anymore.
No.
It hasn't been a thing for a while.
I'm not gonna say anything.
It's no
else.
longer a magical place.
I'm not gonna say anything else because that warrants into some spoiler discussions for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But I will say that a lot of what's going on in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now feels like it's ramping up for a final season, even though it hasn't been announced whether or not it's getting renewed. But I'm of the mind, and as much as I would love to see the show continue because it's wonderful and great, the Avengers gave birth to it, and Infinity War is very much the finale of that chapter of the Avengers.
Yeah.
So to me, it would make a lot of sense that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would end with the introduction of Infinity War. Again, it would break my heart, but at the same time, I'm like, if it's a fitting end, then I'm okay with that.
That makes sense.
That being said, holy cow, does this look amazing?
It does. Like this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Ultron, as much as I enjoyed it, was absolutely a hot mess in some ways. And this, I think I saw an interview somewhere that said the Russos were talking with everyone who had helmed all of the other franchises, saying, all right, bring it in, let's talk. They talked with Ryan Coogler, was that his name? Black Panther.
No, I think it's Ryan Coogler.
Ryan. And I know Coogler's the last name, but I'm like, I'm so good with
The
things.
director, yes.
And then Taika Waititi, and then they talked with everyone to get everyone on the same page while they were doing the movie. Yeah. So I appreciate the hell out of that. This cannot be easy. This is, here's a shit ton of franchises, pull them all together in an epic way that looks good.
And this is the culmination of 10 years of movies.
It is.
Which I don't think anything, like, there have always been film franchises ever since the history of the studio system. There have been franchises. But I don't think anything like this has quite ever really been attempted in such a cohesive, thought-out way. There's always been, you look back at, like, the Universal monsters all having a shared universe way back in the day. There was no thought behind that.
No.
They were just making it up as they went along. I don't think anything's so
well planned,
intentioned and well
orchestrated.
Planned. Yes, that's the word. I don't think anything this well orchestrated in terms of film franchises has ever been accomplished, because most franchises, by the time they get to the third installment, are either in need of a reboot or are a hot mess by that point, because it's like, oh shoot, we didn't really have an existing coherent plan or unifying vision for it. And this is 10 years of a unified vision, which there have been bumps along the way, certainly.
We've definitely had some movies, like, it's a lot of the twos. Iron Man 2, Thor 2.
Well, even some of the introductions, like Edgar Wright and Ant-Man, like, he worked so hard to get that, but, like, couldn't necessarily acquiesce to the Marvel brand, and so left the project. And so it's one of those things where a lot of unique director visions, I guess, you could argue, were kind of quelled.
But the flip side
of the brand.
We have Thor Ragnarok and we have Black Panther, which is... I saw a video about this. It was actually a Mother's Basement video talking about how without the Marvel Universe, they wouldn't have had a platform for the more experimental films like that. Like the action comedy that the original Guardians of the Galaxy is. Mm-hmm. There wasn't as much of a market for those anymore. Everything has just become heavy-duty action movies. And that brought back the action comedy, and that had the Marvel framework, the Marvel structure to support it. And then Black Panther and Thor Ragnarok being their own things, their own little go, make a project, have fun.
And they were
and they had the Marvel structure to support them. And because Marvel had all these movies, like, we have this movie, it's kind of your normal Marvel movie, it's going to do well, let's go. All right, we have this funding from the other 15 movies that did well, go, make Black Panther, have fun. And then Black Panther brought money in hand over fist, and is the first movie since, I want to say, Avatar, to be #1 at the box office for 5 weeks running, as of this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised if it continues. And Wrinkle in Time by Ava DuVernay, I believe is how you pronounce her last name, is #2.
That's wonderful.
That is 2 movies with black directors that are focused on people of color helming the box office.
And Pacific Rim opens this week.
Yeah. What a time to be alive!
Oh man. Yeah.
Like, this is how I felt when we got Wonder Woman. I'm like, let everyone have that experience.
Another thing Zach and I were talking about was like a lot of people are doing March Madness brackets. Like I feel like leading up to Infinity War, there's going to be an Infinity War bracket where it's like who's most likely to survive.
Oh, I'm sure there are over-unders on who's gonna die, and most of it has to do with pulls out actor contracts, riffles through them.
My money's
Like, let's be real.
My money's on the original trilogy, as it were, Thor, Tony, and Cap. I think they're gone. I don't. Tony's a maybe. Tony's a maybe.
I will be very surprised if they get rid of him because Robert Downey Jr. does so much for the franchise.
He does.
That whole,
and
that little bit about we're moving the release date up a week, that wouldn't have worked out with anyone else in character the way that it worked out with Robert Downey Jr. You saw that little Twitter exchange, right?
I actually didn't. No.
He was tweeting at Marvel saying, hey, you know, I believe it was England, gets Infinity War on April 27th and everyone else has to wait. Can we move it up? Like, I want to see it with my friends. And Marvel tweeted back like, yeah, sure, who are your friends? And he said, everyone, let's move it up for everyone. And they said, great, we're moving it up a week. Which I'm pretty sure they had that planned already.
Of course, no.
And the going theory is they didn't want to compete with Deadpool 2 because the first 3 weeks of a movie being out are the really big moneymaker weeks. And Deadpool 2 would have released 2 weeks after the initial release date. So the going theory is that they didn't want to compete with another superhero movie, so they just bumped it forward a week. So it's released, I believe, globally on the 27th, as opposed to just one market.
Even though Deadpool, there's a little bit of rights sort of muddled where it's like, I know Disney just bought a lot of 20th Century Fox's assets.
Yep.
At that point, it's less of like compete with another superhero movie. There's a term called, I think it's called self-cannibalization in business, where like if you open too many Starbucks in the same area,
they all fail.
You're cannibalizing on your own business.
Yeah.
And well, not necessarily that they all fail, but definitely some will suffer. And
like when 3 songs from Tangled got nominated for Best Song, and then it went to a completely different movie.
Yep. That's another good way of putting it. So yeah, I could definitely see Disney, or more specifically Marvel Studios in this particular instance, because they're the ones with sort of hands on both entities, Disney and 20th Century Fox, going, hey guys, let's just tweak this ever so slightly so that we minimize that cannibalization process.
Yeah. Just my point for that is, going back, is removing Robert Downey Jr. from the franchise removes a lot of your easy marketing and your fan interaction, and in terms of marketing and in terms of fandom and whatnot, he's still kind of the face of the MCU.
Yes,
just from the way he acts, from his... I'm not saying that he's irreplaceable or that means that Tony Stark is never going to die or anything, but I would be surprised if they killed him for this one.
Well, my thing is that
they're the old guard.
The franchise was born because of Iron Man, because of the success of Iron Man.
Yeah.
If Iron Man had not succeeded, the rest of the MCU would not exist.
Yeah.
But he and Thor and Cap are along with the others, are the old guard. And it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like if he lives, he's very much going to take a back seat to things.
Absolutely.
Because the Iron Man trilogy is done. Yes, he's still around, but...
honestly, I liked his appearances in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
He was still extremely involved in that plot. Let's be real. He was almost the villain of Spider-Man Homecoming. Question mark.
The other thing is...
Capitalism problems.
The other thing... Oh, sorry, I don't want to step...
Oh yeah, just that bit of he only directly shows up in the film a couple of times, but, good enough.
But he's-
and I would love for them to do that for all of these other films. And I just watched Thor the other night, getting Doctor Strange in there for, 2.5 minutes. This is hilarious and I love it. Great. Let's continue on.
It's just Tony spent so much time laying the groundwork for his successor in the form of Peter Parker. And Peter Parker is not allowed to have a father figure mentor who doesn't turn evil and or die. So
yeah, but the only one who permanently stays dead is Uncle Ben.
That's what I'm saying. There is no Uncle Ben in this universe, Katie. He's already dead.
There is. He was just already dead because we decided not to retread the same backstory for like the fourth fucking time.
My point is that Tony Stark has stepped into that Uncle Ben role. He's laying the groundwork to be replaced. I feel like, okay, I will concede Tony is a coin toss. Cap is a dead man.
Oh, yeah, no.
Cap is a dead man. If Thor makes it out alive, it's because Loki dies.
I feel like you would have a tough time having Loki without Thor.
Yeah.
Generally speaking. I think you could do Thor without Loki, but I don't... You would have... They balance each other so well.
That's why either they're both dying, or if Thor lives, it's because Loki does something uncharacteristically selfless.
And makes it stick this time.
Yes. And isn't pretending, and that's you can even play with that a little bit of like, come on, brother, you already did this bit before. Like, is this so we can get help? Like, you don't need to do this. It's fine.
He just throws Loki at Thanos.
Oh god, really dead Loki at Thanos.
Loki.
Oh man,
no, living Loki can help,
and that's how he dies.
Yeah.
That's how Loki dies. No, long story short, I'm really excited.
Oh, yeah.
This looks great. I can't believe we haven't even talked about it yet. All of the Wakandan forces, like, working in conjunction with Cap and Bucky, like, no.
I'm just gonna vibrate off the couch, don't mind me. My god, I'm
so
in.
excited.
I'm so in. I'm super stoked. Oh my god.
This is gonna be great. I still think Thanos looks a little weird.
He does.
Like, just kind of looking at these thumbnails that are on the recommended.
But the thing is, his design in the comics is so fucking weird that it's kind of hard to translate that to live action.
Yeah,
They're doing their best.
Yeah, no. I don't hate it. I'm just saying, yeah, that is a purple man that looks funny.
It's like that is okay.
Yep. I really
McChinster.
I really hope he's doing all this to impress Hela. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Not necessarily Hela, but like death.
But she's the goddess of death. That's That's a really good way to justify it, though, in universe.
And then Thor just, sorry, we kind of murdered her.
Sorry, what? I killed her. Did you?
But the thing is, Marvel death is a different entity than any given god of death or avatar of death. Like, she is her own thing.
But they've already
She's actually in a relationship with Deadpool.
I know! But again, Deadpool's in another franchise!
I know!
Like I said, I really like the idea of that in-universe being justified. Of, like, instead of personifying death in like this movie, having already laid the groundwork with that with Hela. I'm just saying.
And I think the use of Hela would be a little cheap.
I disagree, but that's why we're here to discuss these things.
Yes.
Cheers to agreeing to disagree.
Come by.
How about that?
A day late, but sláinte.
No. Sorry, what? Is that for
sláinte? It's Gaelic for
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah,
okay.
It's basically Gaelic for cheers. It's kind of to your health.
Sorry, I don't know any Gaelic. I'm a bad Irish person.
Now you do. Sláinte.
Hooray! But point being, look at that. 2 people on the internet just agreed to disagree. How about that, y'all?
This is how you fandom, guys. You have a nice measured discussion.
And then you cheers and drink. And you high five. Ah! You monster! It's my way or the highway, bitch! Okay, we should probably wrap it up. We got other things to talk about tonight.
Yes, go.
I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. And again, if you haven't already done so, go to AfterBuzz TV and check out the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. After Show.
And I'm Katie. You can follow me all over the social medias as well as on Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. We have the sister channel, Silver Screams, Silver_Screams on the social medias, and Silver Screams on the YouTube. We do horror things. Look it up. It's super fun. If you would like to support the channel, we have a Patreon. We're actually doing I'm doing Steven Universe reactions as one of the rewards.
Sorry, I couldn't wait.
They live there now because YouTube hates them. So if you want to see those are on Patreon. That helps support us and that is super fun. We have a Ko-fi if you just want to throw a couple bucks our way, and we actually do commissions. If there's something in particular that you would like to watch or discuss or whatever, you can commission us to do that. All of that information is in the description below. If you liked what you saw, if you like watching our crazy faces, if you like watching people on the internet have differing opinions but still get along.
Yo!
And miss social cues. Like, subscribe, ding. Hit the bell. Because subscribing isn't good enough. Thanks, YouTube. Yeah, like, subscribe, ding. Do all that fun stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye!